Ferrari just started a countdown, and Hamilton is racing against history. In Maranello, the clock has started ticking. Not for the car, not for the championship, for him. Lewis Hamilton has been given what no Ferrari legend ever wanted, a deadline. According to Riccardo Patrese, the 7-time world champion has until the end of 2027 to finish the mission that broke Alonso, that drained Vettel, that humbled everyone who believed they could change Ferrari from within. But Hamilton isn't chasing nostalgia, he's fighting time itself and the ghosts of red that came before him. He knows what they all learned too late. Ferrari doesn't lose because it's slow, it loses because it resists change, because every innovation has to fight through tradition, because leadership in Maranello isn't given, it's taken. This isn't just another season, it's a race against history, and the finish line isn't a checkered flag, it's a legacy. Riccardo Patrese didn't speak like a pundit, he spoke like a witness. He's seen what happens to great drivers who try to tame Ferrari's chaos. And his message to Hamilton was clear: you have until 2027 to do what no one has ever done. It sounds generous, but inside the paddock, everyone knows what it really means. A countdown to either immortality or exile. Ferrari is already thinking about 2026, the new engines, the reset that promises balance but hides upheaval. That's the moment Hamilton is supposed to deliver when he's 41, carrying not just the weight of age but of expectation, culture, and redemption. For Ferrari, the timeline is safety. For Hamilton, it's a challenge, because every driver before him ran out of time. Vettel tried to build the German Empire in Italy. It collapsed. Alonso fought the politics and lost to silence. Hamilton refuses to let the same ghosts write his ending. He's not racing the others anymore. He's racing Ferrari's own clock. Walk through Ferrari's headquarters and you can still feel them. The ghosts. Alonso's frustration. Vettel's desperation. Brilliant men who entered Maranello as saviors and left as symbols of what the team refuses to become. Alonso tried to command Ferrari with raw intensity, he fought politics with passion. Vettel tried to heal Ferrari with loyalty, he believed heart could conquer structure. Both failed for the same reason: the machine they were trying to fix was not mechanical, it was cultural. Inside Ferrari, time moves differently. Every new idea must first be forgiven. Every revolution must first be approved by ghosts in old offices and older traditions. Hamilton knows this. He studied their paths like cautionary tales. He knows that Ferrari doesn't just test your driving, it tests your identity. And so, when Patrese warned him about 2027, he wasn't predicting the end of a career, he was predicting the end of patience. Hamilton's challenge isn't just to win with Ferrari, it's to end the cycle of brilliance devoured by history. Lewis Hamilton has seen the pattern. He's watched champions walk through Ferrari's gates as icons and leave as apologies, and he's made a promise: it will not happen again. If you look at the last 20 years, he said, they had Kimi, Fernando, Sebastian, all world champions, but they didn't win another championship. I refuse for that to be the case. That word, refuse, hit differently in Maranello, because Ferrari is a team built on acceptance, of politics, of hierarchy, of how things are done. But Hamilton doesn't accept. He questions, he challenges, he rewires. Behind closed doors, he's already doing what those before him never dared, submitting internal reports, pushing structural changes, confronting inefficiencies that have been sacred for decades. This isn't rebellion, it's reform, and for some inside Ferrari, that's even more dangerous. Hamilton isn't just trying to win a title, he's trying to prove that even the most traditional team in motorsport can be reborn, if someone is brave enough to break its rules. Every headline says the same thing: Hamilton wants his 8th title, but those inside Maranello know the truth. That isn't the mission, it's the consequence. Since arriving, Hamilton's influence has stretched far beyond the garage. He's questioned how data flows between departments. He's reshaped how feedback is interpreted, insisting that Ferrari stop treating the driver as a symptom and start treating him as a system. He's even demanded transparency in decision chains that have long been hidden under layers of pride and protocol. These are not racing changes, they're cultural rewrites, the kind that scared Ferrari when Schumacher first arrived, and the kind that, decades later, rebuilt them into a dynasty. Hamilton is not trying to fit into Ferrari, he's trying to force Ferrari to grow into him. And that's the real mission, not to build a faster car, but to build a smarter empire, one that can finally survive without collapsing under its own history. Every revolution needs an engineer. Hamilton just happens to drive his. He'll be 41 when the new era begins, an age that should belong to retirement speeches and nostalgia reels. But not for Lewis Hamilton. Age in Formula One usually means decline, slower reflexes, fading hunger. Yet for Hamilton, it's become an advantage. The calm of experience, the precision of discipline, the clarity of purpose. He doesn't waste energy proving he's still fast. He spends it proving that wisdom wins wars. You can't rattle him anymore. You can't bait him into public frustration or private chaos. He's seen every trap, every narrative, every form of manipulation that the paddock can offer. And that's what makes him dangerous, because Ferrari's chaos feeds on emotion, and Hamilton has mastered the art of starving it. When 2026 arrives, the world will see a 41-year-old man driving against time, but inside Ferrari, they'll know what it really is. A surgeon guiding a patient through rebirth. He's not fighting youth, he's weaponizing experience. Ferrari isn't one team, it's two religions fighting for the same soul. One worships heritage, the other craves evolution. And now, Hamilton stands at the altar between them. For decades, Ferrari's power came from ritual, the meetings, the hierarchies, the invisible lines no one crosses. Drivers obeyed, engineers conformed. That's how legends like Alonso and Vettel were buried under the weight of how things are done. But Hamilton's arrival broke that rhythm. He doesn't care about sacred rooms or ceremonial chains of command. He cares about results and respect. His questions cut through politics like data cuts through myth. To some, he's seen as the invader. To others, the reformer Ferrari always needed. The tension is everywhere, in the meetings, in the radio silence, in the way Leclerc's frustration grows louder each race. This isn't just about lap times anymore, it's about identity. Will Ferrari remain a monument to its past, or finally become the machine Hamilton believes it can be? Because revolutions don't start with speed, they start with truth. The clock is still ticking. Ferrari's future and Hamilton's legacy are now running on the same timer. 2027 isn't just a date, it's a finish line carved into destiny. Riccardo Patrese said it like a warning. Hamilton heard it like a challenge, because he's not here to repeat history, he's here to rewrite it. Every report he submits, every silent team meeting, every lap he drives with surgical precision, they're all pieces of a single mission, to prove that Ferrari doesn't need to be saved by luck or miracles, but by leadership. The countdown has begun. The question is no longer can Hamilton win with Ferrari, it's when Ferrari will be ready to win with him. So what do you think? Can Hamilton rebuild the house that broke legends before him, or will time claim one last champion? If you believe the countdown ends in victory, comment below. #stand with Lewis and subscribe, because the next race won't just test Ferrari's car, it will test its soul. Every legend in Formula One faces the same moment, when the world starts writing their ending before they finish the story. That's where Hamilton is now. They whisper it in the paddock corridors, in the headlines, even in Ferrari's own offices. He's running out of time. But what they forget is that Hamilton has been here before. In 2016, when he lost the title to Rosberg, they said it was over. In 2021, when Abu Dhabi rewrote the rules of fairness, they said it was done. And every time they counted him out, he reinvented himself. That's the difference between a career and a legacy. A career ends when the clock does. A legacy begins when someone refuses to obey it. Hamilton isn't fighting to extend his story, he's fighting to own it. To turn Ferrari from a myth into a movement. To turn his silence into a weapon. To make sure that when the world remembers the name Lewis Hamilton, it doesn't end with 7-time champion, but with the man who changed Ferrari. Because some drivers chase titles, others chase time, but only a few rewrite eternity.